We're back again for another episode of Crafting with Miss Terrie. Today we're going to do a real fun project. We're going to make a cactus for our room. So you got instructions with your patterns on the second page, and you have a handout with some stitches. So first, you need to cut out your cactuses. We're doing the round one. Then you need to trace them on your olive felt. Cut those out, and then we need to sew the pieces together. Now I'm going to use a lighter piece of felt so that you can see my stitches, and I'm going to use navy thread. Now before I get started here, I want to show you how to use your needle threader. Okay, the needle threader has a little wire on the end, and you stick it through the eye of your needle. Okay, and then you take your piece of thread and you put it through the wire, and it should extend a little bit. Okay, then you pull your little needle threader back, and it brings the thread right through to the eye of the needle, and then you can just knot the ends of your thread. Okay, now I am using a double strand to sew my cactus pieces together. So when I pull it through, and I'm going to knot the end, and then I'll have two threads. Okay, the needle threader will come in very handy when we use the embroidery floss that's in your bag. Okay, alrighty. Now we are going to use what is called the blanket stitch to sew our pieces together. So to first anchor our thread, we have two pieces here. I'm going to come up through the bottom, bring my thread all the way through. Then I have a loop here. I'm going to come down, come back up through the back, then watch my loop so it doesn't tangle, and I'm going to stick my needle through it, and then I'm going to pull, and that anchors your thread so it won't pull out. Now then we're going to go down through the front about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. Okay, I'm about 1/8 of an inch and about 1/4 of an inch away from my previous stitch. I'm going to start down, and there's a loop. Okay, and I'm going to put my needle through it. I'm going to pull gently. Okay, and you're going to see that you're going to make an upside down U with your thread. Okay, and your thread is going to be in your seam. You're going to see your loop of your thread in your seam all the way up. Now if it's easier for you to do, you can push your needle down through the front again, and then right away wrap your thread around your needle. Okay, and then pull. Okay, and sometimes our thread might get a little wompy, and you might have to pull on one of the threads. Okay, you can divide your threads up and then pull on one of them to get your thread back to normal. Okay, so you're going to go again, 1/8 of an inch, wrap your thread around and pull. Okay, 1/4 of an inch away from the other, wrap your thread and pull. Okay, so you're going to do that all the way around. And okay, I'm not back there. Okay, and then I'm going to, if I run out of thread, I'm going to do the same thing I did when I first started. Okay, I'm just going to stop right here to show you. I'm going to go up through the back, going to pull my needle through the hoop or loop, and I'm going to anchor it. I'm going to do it twice so I make sure that it is anchored. Okay, and so you're going to finish all the way around. Once that's done, you're going to have 3 pairs of your cactus, okay? This is going to make your petals. So I'm going to group them right together, one on top of the other, okay? And you can take a pencil or a pen and a cardboard or a ruler and mark the center so that you have a line to follow, okay? In order to get our spines that look like these, we're going to have to sew up through the center. So take your needle and your green, yours would be green thread. And we're going to do a running stitch up the center. So you're going to go through the bottom layer, just like you did when you sewed them together. And we're going to make a couple anchoring stitches. Okay. Now I have some marks up through the center, and I am going to start doing my running stitch. And basically you're going down through all the layers and back up. And you may have to look at the bottom from time to time, but you're just going up and down. Running stitch, okay? And there's going to be gaps between them. And I'm just going to continue going all the way up. Now you'll take more time to do yours. I'm just getting us, showing you how you're supposed to do it. Okay. And I'm just following my little marks, going all the way to the top. And when I get to the top, I'm going to do the locking stitch like we were doing. Oop. I'm going to do it twice. And then I'm going to cut my thread. Okay. Now this creates your spines for you to fill with fiber fill. And you all got a pack of fiber fill to use to stuff your cactus. So when I grab a piece of fiber fill, and it makes it easier for you to fill all of them if you just start out with a small amount and you kind of stuff it in with your pen. So you all should have a pencil in your packet. I'm missing a little hole here. There we go. And you start it in there. And it might take a little while to get it going. If you use your pencil and kind of twirl it as you put it in there, it'll go in there better, okay? So we have it stuffed started, okay? So now it makes it easier for you to fill it the rest of the way if you go through and just start putting some stuffing in each one of your spines, okay? And then start pushing it up through and filling your spines. So then they'll start looking like this one. This one's all nice and filled, okay? And this is just my dud for examples, okay? So you'll see that they'll all spread out, and you don't have to do it real full or anything like that, but just make it so it looks nice, okay? And once you have that all filled, you're going to take your embroidery floss and thread a needle, and you're going to start going through. Just take your needle through the edge of your spine where you sewed, You're going to pull your thread through, and you're going to knot it twice. Your embroidery floss, you're going to knot it twice. Then you're going to trim it close, about 1/2 inch. Yep. And that'll make your little spikes or spine, needles, Sharpie things, whatever you want to call them. But make sure you tie that nice and tight, okay? And then you just continue around your cactus. And you space them evenly, okay? Just continue around your cactus, taking your embroidery floss through the edge, knotting it twice, and trimming it off. Okay? And then you just continue on down. Now, you all have some yellow and some red felt in your packet. You're going to cut a piece that's 3 inches by 1/2 inch, maybe a little bit more than that. And then we're going to fringe it. And what you do to fringe, if this was a solid piece, you would cut in 2/3 of the way. If you look here, I still have a piece that's still together. I didn't cut all the way down, and it creates a fringe. So I'm going to roll that up and put some glue on it every so often, okay? Put a little bit of glue. I'm just going to roll it for this purpose, but you would put glue on there. And you would hold it until it's set, and then when you get ready to fluff it, you can fluff it, okay? You're going to cut out 2 of your flowers, and you're going to stagger them so they're not exactly lined up. You want them to look like they're laying on top of each other, give us some dimension. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue each one of these to the other. Then we're going to glue it on top of our cactus. And then we're going to glue our fringe piece on top of that, okay? Then, after it is set and dried, what you're going to do is you're going to put some glue in the bottom of your cup here, okay? This is your little pot. And I put a good bit of glue in there, either hot glue or Elmer's glue or tacky glue. And then I'm going to stick my cactus down in there, hold until it sets, and then I'm going to put some rocks down in there. I gave you all some rocks, and that'll help support your cactus and make it stand nice and it won't tip over, okay? And that will finish your cactus. And the nice thing about this cactus, you don't have to ever water it. I hope you enjoyed today's craft, and you will join me next month for our Christmas ornaments. Thank you.